Good job. You should be very proud of yourself.
No, we're not, bro. No, bro. No, we're not.
You should be proud of yourself, Rolly.
What do you think, if anything, was swaying the judges to lean to the side of Teofimo?
You know, it's all political. My immediate thoughts, I mean, look at my face. I got hit with, what, 2 clean shots the whole fight? I mean, yeah, I mean, if that's enough to beat the champion, that's enough to beat the champion. I've heard him multiple times. I am owed a rematch. For sure owed a rematch. Yeah, congratulations to Teofimo.
Look at my face and look at his face. I know, bro. I got hit with, what, 2 little right hands the whole fight? How many hooks did he get? I'd like to just thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for everything in my life that I've got to enjoy. I will always be your faithful servant.
Do you think, Rolly, that you did enough to win? All right. Still doesn't want to talk, Todd. We'll go back to you.
Well, Rolly Romero, a man of few words. He thanked God, and he's out of the ring. Sergio.
It was a good boxing performance by Rolly. Tio probably took over with his activity towards the end, but if you really pay attention and look, Rolly was landing big blows and not getting hit in the first half of the fight.
Yeah, you know, Rolly made it ugly, you know, running the whole fight. You know, I could give him like 2 rounds, that's it, you know what I'm saying? It was ridiculous. What was it, a majority decision?
Yeah. Were you a bit worried when you sat hearing them scorecards? Because
I know, because it's freaking crazy, bro. He didn't want 1 freaking round. I mean, he got maybe 2 rounds, you know, I can give him 2 rounds that he won, but I mean, like, he was running the whole fight.
I think Tio wanted it more. I just think that Tio wanted it more, and plain and simple, that's what happened, you know.
You thought he was a clear winner?
I believe he was a clear winner for sure.
Yeah, just your response to Rolly in the post-fight mentioned, hey, look at my face, look at Tio's face. You tell me who won. He also kind of alluded that he felt like
all those
it's
punches,
political.
All those punches we knew. I told my son, catch all those punches with your gloves, bro, and catch and shoot. He was a little bit off with the right hand, but he was catching all the punches with his glove. I mean, that was the only punches that he was throwing, and my son was catching them. You know, if people want to call those, punches that landed, they must be crazy. That's about the only thing that he did.
He got hurt multiple times throughout the fight. Every time I threw a shot, I landed it. He couldn't land anything clean on me, and it was clear and apparent. That's called blood.
I see blood on your leg too. Yeah. When you caught him,
I don't see anything red.
No, I'm saying blood on your leg. Probably Tio's blood.
Yeah, no, that's for sure Tio's blood, but I don't see anything red on my side. So don't start that initiative.
Teofimo Lopez beating Rolly Romero in a majority decision. 114 scorecards was wicked. Oh my goodness gracious. But I'm gonna get into it though, right? The first 6 rounds, I had it 3 up. It was like a close fight for the first half of the fight. You know what I mean? Teofimo Lopez had the first round. Rolly had the second round. Tio had the third round. Rolly had the 4th round. It was nice. It was competitive. But then at one point in time after the 6th, Teofimo Lopez just started pouring on the rounds. At one point in time,
fresh off his win over Rolly Romero. First off, congrats, Tio. What are your immediate thoughts? How you feeling right now?
Feeling like a 3-weight division world champion right now, man. Thankful, man. This is what we do. This is what it's about. The name, the takeover. We took over tonight.
Rolly used a power standpoint. He was going for power. Like the left hook wasn't landing. And but he fought. I thought Rolly fought really good. I mean, a lot of people just look at y'all listen to the fans and the crowd, and that'll kind of blow you away from the fight. But you got to see a lot of those shots wasn't actually landing. So Teofimo just got to do better with blocking that right hand, like keeping his right hand up, blocking that left hook, and he just wasn't sitting on it. And, I mean, it was a great fight. I liked it.
2 times in the fight, Rolly Romero had Teofimo Lopez's legs wiggling like Bambi, and it was getting serious. But in the fight, we seen that Rolly Romero was being way too respectful in the fight. Very patient, very conservative with his punches. Didn't want to trade with Tio whatsoever because Tio was the sharper, faster fighter today.
When you see Teofimo's, eyes slit and the blood starts coming out, what are you thinking?
Listen, this is nothing new. You know that my son gets cut a lot, and the good thing is that we have a new cutman, and he did a great job. And I'm very happy, that the cut didn't bother him at all. It was a great fight. 3-time world champion, real world champion, fighting fighting real champions. You know what I'm saying? Like no vacant titles.
What do you feel like you could have did better since you gave yourself a B?
Just throwing more punches, more combinations. I think that when I hear, and I was in the corner and I hear my trainers telling me these things, they see the same thing I'm seeing, but I'm being selective, right? Just because of the amount of power that Rolly does have, but I have to trust in my abilities. Every time I did throw, Rolly didn't have anything to answer with. So just got to trust my team more and get back to the drawing board on that.
Rolly Romero versus Teofimo Lopez, the fight that could change everything. Rolly Romero and Teofimo Lopez are heading into a fight that has all the ingredients of a boxing war. Two talented fighters, two completely different personalities, and two men who believe they are capable of controlling the next chapter of their careers. On one side, Rolly Romero brings raw power, physical strength, confidence, and a willingness to turn every exchange into a statement. On the other, Teofimo Lopez brings speed, athleticism, explosive combinations, and the experience of fighting at the highest level. When these two finally share the ring, the question will not simply be about who is better. It will be about whose style breaks the other man first. Rolly Romero has built his reputation around one thing above almost everything else: power. When Romero commits to his punches, he can make an opponent feel them immediately. His style is aggressive, physical, and unpredictable. He does not always fight in the cleanest or most technical way, but that unpredictability can become a weapon. Rolly wants his opponent thinking about what could happen next, because one mistake can completely change the fight. And that is exactly why Teofimo Lopez cannot afford to become careless. Teofimo has already experienced what it is like to reach the top, face enormous expectations, and then deal with the pressure that comes after a major setback. His victory over Vasily Lomachenko established him as one of boxing's most dangerous young stars, but his career has also shown how quickly momentum can change. Lopez has had to rebuild, adjust, and prove that he still belongs among the elite. This fight gives him another opportunity to make that statement. The biggest advantage for Lopez could be his speed and movement. Teofimo is at his best when he is able to control distance, make an opponent miss, and then explode with fast combinations. He has the athletic ability to change angles and attack before his opponent has time to react. Against Romero, that could become extremely important, because Rolly wants Teofimo close. Romero does not want to spend the entire fight chasing a moving target. He wants Lopez standing in front of him, exchanging punches, and giving him opportunities to land his biggest shots. If Rolly can cut off the ring and force Teofimo into the kind of exchanges where both fighters are planting their feet, the danger level immediately rises. But Teofimo knows that. He understands that fighting Rolly's fight could be the biggest mistake he makes. Instead, Lopez will likely look for moments where he can use his speed, timing, and accuracy. He does not necessarily need to dominate every second. He needs to make Romero uncomfortable. He needs to make Rolly reach, miss, reset, and think twice before attacking. If Lopez can create that rhythm, the fight could begin to look completely different. For Romero, patience may be just as important as power. That might sound strange considering his reputation, but Rolly cannot afford to spend the entire fight loading up on every punch. If he becomes too aggressive, Lopez has the ability to make him pay. Teofimo can counter quickly, and the more predictable Romero becomes, the easier it will be for Lopez to time him. This is where the mental side of the fight becomes fascinating. Both fighters are confident. Both have personalities that can make headlines. Both believe they can impose themselves on an opponent, and neither man is likely to back down simply because the other fighter is trying to intimidate him. That creates a dangerous combination. If Romero lands something big early, Teofimo will immediately know that the power is real. If Lopez lands a clean counter and starts making Rolly miss, Romero will have to decide whether to continue pressing forward or become more patient. The fighter who handles those moments better could eventually take control. Another major factor is experience. Teofimo has already been through high-pressure championship fights. He has fought elite opposition, dealt with massive expectations, and experienced both the highs and lows of professional boxing. That experience could be extremely valuable if this fight becomes complicated. Romero, meanwhile, has his own experience and has shown that he is willing to take risks. He understands how to create chaos. He knows that a fight does not always have to be technically perfect for him to win it. Sometimes all he needs is one opening, and against Teofimo Lopez, one opening could be enough. That is why defense will be critical. Teofimo cannot simply rely on his athleticism. He has to stay disciplined. His hands need to come back after combinations, his feet need to stay underneath him, and he cannot give Romero unnecessary opportunities. Rolly's power means that even a fight Teofimo appears to be controlling can change in a single second. At the same time, Romero cannot afford to give Lopez free opportunities either. Teofimo is an explosive puncher himself. If Rolly walks forward without respecting Lopez's counters, he could find himself walking directly into combinations. The danger for Romero is that chasing power can sometimes create openings for a faster fighter. So this fight could come down to a simple question: who controls the distance? If Rolly keeps Teofimo close, Romero's physicality and power become major factors. If Teofimo keeps the fight at his preferred range, his speed and movement could frustrate Rolly and force him into mistakes. There is also the question of momentum. A fighter can enter a major fight with all the physical tools in the world, but confidence matters too. Teofimo needs to establish early that he is not intimidated by Romero's power. He needs to make Rolly respect his speed. Romero, on the other hand, needs to make Teofimo understand from the opening round that every exchange comes with consequences. The first few rounds could tell us a lot. If Romero starts aggressively and traps Lopez against the ropes, Teofimo may be forced into defensive survival before he can establish his rhythm. But if Lopez starts landing clean combinations and escaping before Romero can respond, the pressure could shift toward Rolly. And once the fight reaches the middle rounds, conditioning could become another major storyline. A fight fought at a high pace can drain both men. Romero's physical style requires energy, while Lopez's movement and explosive attacks also demand discipline. Whoever manages their energy better could have a major advantage late. That is where championship level